Welcome to the Great Mechanical Pencils YouTube channel. Today, we're looking at the Eagle Turquoise 20. The Eagle Turquoise 20 was one of America's very first 0.5mm mechanical pencils. It was released in late 1968, and it marked the United States' entry into the fine line pencil era. But here's the twist. While Eagle was just getting started, Japanese companies like Pentel had already been perfecting 0.5mm pencils for years. Stick around and we'll be looking at some of the very first 0.5mm pencils that were sold in the US, and at the same time, what was going on in Japan. But first, let's have a quick look at the company history. I wanted to add real quick that I'm skipping over a lot of things. Most of the bullet points I'm covering here are just related to the Eagle 20. The Eagle Pencil Company was founded in New York City by Daniel Berolheimer, expanding to produce mechanical pencils by 1880. By 1894, they've had an international expansion, opening warehouses and showrooms in London. And in 1907, they opened a factory in Tottenham. By this time, Eagle had become a prominent manufacturer of pencils and writing instruments. During World War II, the Tottenham factory paused pencil production for the manufacturing of secret military equipment, but they resumed production in 1946. The specific nature of the secret military equipment produced by the Eagle Pencil Company's factory during World War II is still not publicly available, but it is known from company history that pencil production was paused from 1939 for this purpose, resuming in 1946. Now, this is just wild speculation on my part, but I wonder if they had anything to do with the Mi-9 assassination dagger that was mentioned in this episode of Combat Dealers. If you have any information about what they did actually produce from 1939 to 1946, please leave a comment. And if you'd like to know more about the Mi-9 assassination dagger, I'll leave a link in the comments. In June of 1967, Eagle opened a purpose-built factory on the Hardwick Industrial Estate in Kings Lynn, Norfolk. The Kings Lynn factory was designed to expand production capacity to manufacture pencils and other stationery products. The barrel is stamped England, and the 20 pencil was most likely manufactured at the new Kings Lynn factory. While the older Tottenham factory was still operational, the Kings Lynn factory was the newer, purpose-built site, making it the probable production location for a new model like the Eagle 20. This advertisement from the October 1968 issue of Progressive Architecture magazine helps establish a timeline for the Eagle 20. This was the mail and sweepstakes promotion that lists the Eagle 20 as second prize with 500 packs of 0.5mm lead, and the company at this time was headquartered in Danbury, Connecticut. In 1969, the company rebranded from Eagle Pencil to Berol, adopting the Berolheimer's family shortened surname. Products made in 1967 and 1968 would still carry the Eagle branding, as seen in the England 20 Eagle stamp. However, after 1969, pencil made in the Kings Lynn factory were probably branded as Berol, which may explain why the Eagle 20 was a short-lived model, making it highly collectible today. In 1986, Berol was acquired by the Empire Pencil Company. In 1992, the Tottenham factory closed. In 1995, Berol was acquired by Sanford, which is now Newell Brands. And in 2010, the last Berol factory closed. Since 2010, Berol has survived as a brand under Newell Brands, with its products, such as pens, pencils, and art materials, being imported rather than manufactured by Berol itself. Before 0.5mm mechanical pencils gained popularity in the United States, the market was led by Eagle. 2mm models like the Eagle 3375 and 3377 were among the earliest in the turquoise series. These pencils had a dominant position in the US market until the 1970s, when trends shifted towards finer line pencils. Here is a very early American fine line pencil, the Leroy 020. This pencil came in early Leroy lettering sets, like the one shown here. If you'd like to see a video on this, leave a comment. 0.02 inch equals roughly 0.5mm. And as you can see here, like the Turquoise 20, this is also a twist advanced pencil. The Leroy, the lettering set, and these leads were all made by Kufer and Esser. And here's the star of our video, the Eagle 20. This was Eagle's first 0.5mm pencil, and we'll get to more on that in just a minute. Here is the Mitsubishi Demi .5. The Demi .5 is believed to be one of the Mitsubishi's earliest .5 mechanical pencils, probably introduced in the late 1960s as an export model to the US. We're going to jump into the demonstration and take a look at how to load the lead and clear jams. And then we're going to have a look at what pencils were selling in Japan in 1968. I wanted to start off with there's 4 versions of this pencil. The end caps come in 4 different colors: red, green, blue, and black. The color code was probably intended to help you identify what hardness of lead you had loaded. Here's a nice view of the box, which has instructions on how to load the pencil. So here I'm unloading the pencil. I'm turning the knob fully clockwise to extend the lead fully. And then there is the push rod fully extended. And then you want to turn the cap fully counterclockwise to withdraw the push rod completely into the pencil. The colored plastic end cap has the Eagle logo. There's a removable plug where you can store more lead in the pencil body. As you twist the cap, the push rod extends, pushing the lead out the tip. Here I am fully extending the push rod. One thing that is nice about twist style pencils like this is that they have a built-in jam clearer. The push rod extends the entire length and sticks out about 1 millimeter past the tip. To load the pencil, you have to manually insert 1 stick of lead at a time into the grip's hole. Newer Nock-type pencils, which gravity feed the next stick of lead from a reservoir, likely inspired the term automatic. In modern times, automatic now refers to pencils with lead advanced mechanisms that don't require knocking at all. The lid core is not secured to the push rod, so when you want to retract the lid, you have to back off the rod and then manually push the lid back into the pencil. Some twist pencils like the China Type B has the ability to grasp the lid, making it able to retract into the pencil. Before we wrap up, we're going to take a look at the physical characteristics of the pencil. Here is a comparison between the Pentel P200 and the Eagle 20. The Pentel P200 is a classic, known for its lightweight reliability, while the Eagle 20 brings a premium metal-bodied vibe. Both are drafting pencils with a mid-center balance point, but they cater to slightly different tastes. The P200 measures 142 millimeters long, with a 9 millimeter grip diameter, and the body is made of plastic with a metal tip and a metal eraser cap. It's got that familiar P200 feel, and it's light, weighing in at 10 grams, comfy for long writing sessions. The Eagle 20 is 144 millimeters long, slimmer at 7.6 millimeter in the grip, and heavier at 16.7 grams due to its full metal body. There is no eraser, and its metal pocket clip is fixed. Both pencils have fixed tips. The P205 is 4 millimeter, while the Eagle 20 has a 3 millimeter tip. Weight-wise, the P200's 10 grams keeps it nimble, while the Eagle 20's 16.7 grams add heft to those who like a substantial tool. Both have balance points mid-center, so they handle similarly in terms of control. The grips are a bit different. The P200's thicker grip feels familiar, while the Eagle 20 has a slimmer profile and a premium, weightier feel with a modern edge. While the Eagle 20 brought innovative 0.5mm lead to the US market in the late 1960s, Japan was already pushing the boundaries further. At the same time, Pentel's Mechanica introduced the world's first 0.3mm polymer lead, offering unparalleled precision for drafting and fine details. Side by side, the technology differences are glaring. And looking back, it's easy to see how Japanese companies like Pentel came to dominate the pencil market in the following decades. Here was my experience using the Eagle lead. In Eagle's defense, I do have a heavy hand, and the lid could be over 55 years old. But with the Eagle lid being so brittle, I still wanted to test to see how the pencil felt while writing. So I checked to see if modern lead would fit. I measured the Eagle's lead, and then I compared it to some modern lead. And when I loaded it, it worked perfectly. So this may be a solution for you other Eagle owners out there who want to give your pencil a spin. As the Eagle Pencil Company evolved into Barrel in 1969, the beloved turquoise line continued to thrive, blending reliability with innovative design for drafters and artists alike. These models kept the turquoise name alive while adapting to new lid sizes and styles. The turquoise line remains highly collectible among vintage pencil collectors. Known for its durable design and its role in the mid-century drafting history, their iconic colors and barrel branding make them prized finds for restoring or displaying. And as we wrap up the video, I just wanted to thank you for watching, and if you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Looking back, the Eagle Turquoise 20 tells the story of transition. It was the United States finally stepping into the fine line era, but arriving late and with an older design. Pentel and other Japanese companies like Pilot, Tombow, and Mitsubishi will go on to set the standard for what makes the modern mechanical pencil. But make no mistake, the Eagle 20 remains a beautiful piece of history, a bold product of its time, and a reminder of the competition that pushed mechanical pencils into the modern age. Thanks again for watching, and I wanted to thank the members of the Narcology Mechanical Pencil Forum and the Mechanical Pencil subreddit and Facebook groups. And until the next video, good luck with your collection.